Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome on behalf of Khalij Times, Nutanix, and Saudi Business Machines. We welcome you to yet another exclusive boardroom, this one especially highlighting the technological revolution in the Saudi healthcare industry. Every industry needs to adapt to current times. Technology is constantly evolving, and businesses need to catch up and then keep up with the times. The healthcare industry has been innovating from telemedicine to the use of RPA to AI enabled medical devices and blockchain health records and much more to enhance the patient's experience. As we have noticed a trend throughout all Khalid Times previous boardrooms, technology and automation have finally taken seat in all sectors. Technology has rapidly shifted from a legacy enabler to being a game changer. This digital mandate isn't new. It has simply been brought into focus as Saudi Arabia has now taken the G20 presidency for 2020, and the three main goals for the same are empowering people, safeguarding the planet, and shaping new frontiers. As part of the third goal, the intention is to adopt long term and bold strategies to share the benefits and technological advancements. We owe this digital disruption to the pandemic, and due to which most of the healthcare organizations in the kingdom have started their cloud journey and willing to excel with their efforts. But the questions arise, do they have enough resources, people, budget, and time to drive this transformation? And what are the ways to simplify operations pertaining to healthcare for the next chapter of growth enabled by technology? I shall let the attendees of today's boardroom answer these questions. We live in a symbiotic world, learning and understanding and confiding into our industry peers, and that is why exactly these bochinas and webinars have been so successful. This platform offers an opportunity to form a community of like-minded tech community business leaders and get inspired by the vision of a better and technologically driven future for their companies and the country. This is an initiative by Khalid Times to have really some interesting discussions. The digital boardroom will not only discuss the direction and strategy adopted by the healthcare leaders in their cloud journey, but will also focus on challenges faced with the cloud analysis for the execution strategy. So without further ado, I would like to welcome everyone once again and also invite our co-host and Nutanix who have helped us set up this initiative. I would like to welcome Mr. Sebastian Delas, EMEA Healthcare and Life Sciences Lead Nutanix, for a quick overview of the boardroom. Welcome, Sebastian, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Hi, Poonam. It's a pleasure to be with you all this morning. In association with our great partner, Saudi Business Machine, Nutanix has been making great progress in KSA in the last years with a lot of success in healthcare. And we're proudly joining forces in helping KSA achieve its vision of healthcare 2030 vision from MOH. And we are also very happy to support all of our customers, and we have a broad diversity of customers here in KSA in healthcare, going from medical city like KFMC, KAMC, supporting also telehealth like with the Saudi German hospital TeleICU initiative, but also helping clusters to come to fruition and helping also other hospitals like the Hosna Hospital, the Irfan Hospital, or the Prince Sultan Hospital as well. So we're thrilled to explore all the questions today with Saudi Business Machines and all the attendees.
Thank you very much, Sebastian. Now I would like to call Hassan Zaitouni, He is the Account Relationship Manager for Saudi Business Machine. Over to you, Hassan.
Good morning. Thank you. My name is Hassan Zaitouni. I'm the Client Relationship Manager in SBM. I would like to give you an overview about SBM. SBM is the Kingdom's leading provider of end-to-end enterprise information technology and telecommunication solutions. In addition to that, SBM is the general marketing and services representative of IBM in the Kingdom. Of course, SBM with its strategic partners worldwide and IT leaders offer innovative enterprise technology solutions across every industry in the Kingdom as the biggest system integrator company. SBM is in a partnership with multinational vendors, and Nutanix is considered as one of the strategic partners of SBM. And we are having very good business in the market in KSA actually, especially lately in the healthcare sector regarding the latest pandemic that we are facing right now, COVID-19. That's a brief about SBM. Welcome again, and I hope you will benefit from this session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hassan. Thanks a lot. Now for the icebreaker session, I will be introducing all the attendees who are part of this digital boardroom. And I would request, if you can just give a brief introduction about yourself and, what is your initiative, what do you want to gain out of this digital boardroom, so that we can, customize our discussion towards that. So we would, I would like to start with Mr. Abdullah Al Salem. Mr. Abdullah is the IT director for the Ministry of Health. Mr. Abdullah, over to you, just for a brief introduction.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So glad to be here with you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Abdullah Al Salem. I have joined the government sector in the past 4 years, and before that I spent my whole career, more than 7 years, in the banking sector. So it has been a really exciting journey and full of challenges and full of ambitious plans and initiatives. And since I have joined the government sectors 4 years ago, I have been working on digital transformation projects and initiatives. And when I say digital transformation, we are talking about not just IT, but the change of business and the processes, and make it more agile, make it more quick, and make it more able to introduce new products and services. Very happy to be here with you. We have two big topics. One is the cloud, which is really growing and becoming a mandate rather than an option. And the topic is the healthcare and how we can combine both of them. And I believe there is a huge opportunity. If we can get anything positive from the pandemic, then this is it, to combine technology and improving the healthcare services and products.
Thanks a lot. I would like to invite Mr. Ayman Anwar. He is the Corporate IT Director for Maghrabi Hospitals and Centers.
Hello, everyone. Ayman Anwar, IT Director of Maghrabi Hospitals and Center. Maghrabi Hospital and Center is are a specialized ophthalmology and dental healthcare provider across the Middle East. We have a lot of branches: Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Emirates, Qatar, Oman, and also Yemen. I'm joining Maghrabi since 2010. After COVID-19 pandemic, our plans changed to cover the challenges we are faced due to, and this is force us to accelerate our digital plans to create or initiate on it innovative digital services to enhance our customer experience and satisfaction. Also to provide an advanced analytic services to the business based on AI and machine learning. Also to maximize our security levels to protect the environment, because all of us know after this pandemic, we have to initiate new services like telemedicine services and so on. And introducing those cloud services require a lot of controls, security controls to be on place. I hope to share the experience, because we are on the beginning of, not on the beginning, we are already ongoing on our digital journey, and we need to exchange our experience and to see how to achieve our targets and what is the challenges and so on.
Yes, we do hope that today's discussion, add value to what you are looking for. I would like to invite now Mr. Mohammed Al-Taraiki. Mr. Mohammed Al-Taraiki is the Application Development Manager for Security Forces Hospital.
Good morning, everyone. It's glad to be with you here. My name is Mohammed Al-Taraiki, and I'm in role of Development Manager at Security Forces Hospital, Dammam. In the past 4 years, there is a journey of integration between hospital and governmental services. So in 2020, where the COVID has started, we were able to communicate almost with half of the services that are provided by the Ministry of Health. As example, from another side, we can, from the NIC, to integrate our health providers, their information, and so on. That helped us to focus on integrating everything in one place. Let's say our services will be going to another application like Tawakkalna in Saudi Arabia, and our sick leave is in one place. This thing happened in 2 years, and it's going rapidly. If you can't catch up, you will be too far of what Saudi is going on. So cloud services today will help us having our APIs and so on the cloud services provided by the government as well. And it's the goal of the government to have a cloud service called DEEM, if you have heard about it, provided by NIC. This will help us to go there easily without having a problem with the security issues, that this will be handled by the NIC. So it makes less load for us from the Security Forces Hospital to integrate or to build our application on this area. So this is more or less from our side what we are working on this couple of years. I've been here for 10 years or 9 years, enrolling in different career until I reach this level.
Thank you, Mohammed. Thanks a lot for this. We would like to introduce Mr. Mohammed Shahid K. Pervez. Mr. Mohammed is the Director IT for International Medical Center. Mr. Mohammed, over to you.
Thank you, everyone, and hello, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. This is Mohammed Shahid, and I am the Director Information Technology at International Medical Center. I'm serving in IT from last 20 years, and my expertise includes business applications and infrastructure, design and development, a portfolio and program management, digital transformation and strategy development in IT, banking, telecom, and healthcare sector across the Asia Pacific and Middle East region. From my education side, I have completed my bachelor's in business administration and master's in computer science. Over this period of 2 decades, I have delivered hundreds of business applications from project inception to production. A quick intro for IMC and my current role. IMC is a 300-bedded, state-of-the-art, multidisciplinary private hospital in Jeddah that is committed to delivering a service like no other. That's what we believe. Our mission is to pioneer a unique approach of healing the body, mind, and soul by applying the best global healthcare standard and practices and to pursue our Islamic divine ethics. In 2017, I joined IMC, and in my current role, I oversee and execute the hospital IT infrastructure, digitization, transformation, and the processes to empower IMC and to avail the latest innovation in the health technology domain. This is my short intro, and I'm excited for this session and excited to learn from the leaders, inshallah. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you very much. We would like to introduce Mr. Naveed Ahmed Rathor. Mr. Naveed is the IT project manager for NMC Specialty Hospital Al Salam.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning to everyone. As you heard from Ms. Poonam Chawla, my name is Naveed Ahmed and I'm working as IT division head for NMC Specialty Hospital Al Salam, NMC Polyclinic Ishbilia, and NMC Polyclinic Al Salam. So here I started my journey with the NMC in 2016. Okay, so we have developed our own application. Actually, we have been using the application from third-party vendors, but finally NMC has decided to develop the application for in-house. So I am the one, and I'm the key person of this development team, and I'm the one who has started the application from the scratch. So we developed a full-fledged application, okay, HIS and ERP system. So this application is running for last 3 years, okay, in Al Salam Hospital, in Al Salam Polyclinic, and Ishbilia Medical Clinic. Right now, we are moving forward. We are moving towards the telemedicine application. The telemedicine application is already developed from our side. The mobile application is under development stage. So as far as we have done some gap analysis, okay, between the insurance company and the hospitals. Actually, what we have observed in Saudi Arabia, especially, there's some gap between the insurance companies, okay, and the hospital, especially for the RCM RCM management system. So we have resolved it. We have implemented PDM. We have new ICD-10 integration, and we have compliance. Our system with the insurance company is in standard and structure. We are moving toward the cloud services because our aim and our vision is to provide a centralized services to our patients. We have different entities. We have more than 7 hospitals in Saudi Arabia. Okay, so what we want one of our patient who is registered in any of our entity. So he must have a unique, file number of a patient and the visit history. So one patient has received some care from one entity. So this record should be available for other entity, for other doctor. So recently we have implemented radiology information system on the cloud, which is centralized for all of the entities. And we are moving for the patient medical record centralization. And for this, we are using the cloud services. We are planning to move on the cloud, okay, for this purpose. So in order to achieve these standards, okay, we have to take care for the HIPAA compliance. We have to take care for the patient and security. And already we are actually Sibahi and GCI accredited hospital. So we are following all the policies and procedures. So this is my brief introduction. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Naveed. Thanks a lot. And I hope that you gain a lot from today's discussion. I would like to welcome Mr. Abdulaziz Al-Khilaf. Mr. Khilaf is the CIO for Al-Mashari Hospital Group.
Hi, thank you for having me. My name is Abdulaziz Al-Khilaf. I'm the CIO of Al-Mashari Hospital. We started our journey for the digital transformation from 2016. With the cloud first thinking. So whenever we are deploying any of those technology, we always think about deploying it on the cloud first. So I've been working in this industry for the last, at least the IT industry for the last 25 years, and with experience in hospital for the last 14 years. And over the course of those time, I have developed and implemented a lot of HIS and ERB system for greenfield hospital or running hospital with legacy system. So the initiative for us to move on to the digital transformation is with simple objective, is work from anywhere. So we have to have the accessibility for our end user to access. And those are part of our digital transformation. The other side is, of course, to cover all of the need of documentation or clinical documentation using best in breed HIS system. So we pick a solution that will cover a holistic approach for all the needs in ERP and HIS and majority of the management information system that any given hospital will need for their operation. So we journey on that part. As we said, we are cloud first. We opt in for, even when we have our application right now for telemedicine and health home care, it's already on the cloud. It's hosted here in the Kingdom. The same thing for cooperation and communication system that we have in the hospital. It's already on a public cloud with a service provider. We have this approach of IT light in the whole hospital. So we're running as much as possible with those services provided from external companies, supplier or vendor, to make sure that we always adhere to the goals of the hospital to reduce the cost and increase the benefit. Of course, we are covering those revenue cycle that is related to the insurance and other facility. It's the same objective as always. We are having all of the stockholders or affected people part of the decision making, so we could have to move forward with not only the thinking of technology, but not only the thinking of security, not only the business. It's the combined effort of all of those disciplines that will hit the objective, the goals, and the strategic goal as we move along our journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abdulaziz, and we look forward to learn from your experience. I would like to invite Mr. Ahmed Safaldeen. He is the IT head for Esther Sanad Hospital for Medical Care.
Hi, everyone. Sorry for that. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ahmed Safi. I'm the IT manager of Esther Sanad Hospital. I have been working in healthcare for the last 10 years, completely in healthcare. I'm targeting to try to cope up and align with the digital transformation and the Saudi Vision 2030 to the healthcare digital transformation. Also, I'm responsible to transfer our international knowledge as we are part of Aster DM Healthcare group that's based in Dubai and India. So part of my responsibility is to transfer our international knowledge and ally it with the Saudi knowledge and Saudi regulation and standards. And part of that, we are targeting to move our services to the cloud and integrate it to our other hospitals in the group, the 25 hospitals. We would like to have our Aster One project to move all our data to the cloud and share our patients along with the group. We have implemented many telehealth services with our medical cities in India. We already did the tele-ICU and teleradiology already in place. Also, we have international home care services. We're already working on it, and we are supporting it through the IT and all the services we can do so. So that's brief for our hospital. So looking forward to have the discussion today.
I would like to now invite Mr. Jihad. Mr. Jihad Jamal is the IT Director for Devita Health Group.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to join this session. It's my second session for Khalij, and I'm looking forward towards more sessions to attend. My name is Jihad Al Farasani. I'm working as an IT director for Devita Healthcare. Devita is one of the top 5 dialysis service provider in the world, and they are operating, apart from the US, they are operating in 10 countries. Saudi Arabia is one of them. I had the honor to join them like a year and a half ago, and they were in the process of still establishing their processes and restructuring their IT function, because they've been operating in Saudi Arabia for the past like 7 years only. They started in Saudi Arabia 2014. I joined them from SABIC. I was working as a cybersecurity architect, so I'm coming from cybersecurity background. So currently I'm working in the healthcare. Before that, I was working in the manufacturing industry, and before that in the retail, and before that in the contracting. So having been exposed to a number of industries helped me to learn the best out of each industry. And I hope to add value to the organization that I'm working for at the moment. During this pandemic, we have learned a lot, and we have adapted new modes of working, like, for example, working remotely, and which impacted the way we are structuring our IT infrastructure. So before that, many organizations were not in favor of allowing employees to work remotely. Now during the pandemic, they were forced to. So, and we have seen that although many sectors in the society have been impacted, like, for example, like the aviation industry, so the traveling stopped. But when it comes to the healthcare, the dependency on the healthcare has increased massively, as everyone has seen. So now the expectation out of the IT professionals in the healthcare industry is far more than ever before. So we are looking forward to learn more out of this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jihad. Thank you. We are living in an extremely challenging time. So definitely, expectations from the healthcare industry are much, much more. We are extremely delighted to have all of you on this platform. As you are already aware, we have shared a, pre-survey questionnaire with you, and today's discussion will be mostly based on the inputs which were given by you to that survey. Without wasting any further, we would start our discussion forward. My first question will be to Mr. Abdul Aziz. Mr. Aziz, can you cite one example of cloud enterprise positively affecting your organization?
Well, let's start it from, readiness for going live with limited time and, without going through the technical aspect of building those infrastructure in-house. Now, when we started deploying back in 2016, we have this choice, either to wait 4 to 6 weeks to go ahead and get those acquired hardware, or we could go with our, the plan to go with a cloud, a private cloud that will be hosted locally here, and it will be delivered within this same week. So provision could be done very quickly, deployment could be done very quickly. It's just a matter of rendering those servers and getting them ready. So those, just that decision of going to a private cloud and decision to move that, to move forward on timeline for the go live, saved us 6 to 8 weeks just for that decision. That is a prime example of the readiness of the cloud and how could it support any deployment or going live for any system that is mission critical for the system, for the organization.
Thank you. Sebastian, would you like to add on something? You know, as Ahmed have just mentioned that cloud was extremely helpful for them. So especially for the healthcare adoption of cloud technologies, you know, what are the three solutions which are offered by Nutanix?
Yeah, first, let me come back to the digital experiences that cloud has brought to our entire portfolio of customers in healthcare. The first benefit from what I could see from our customers in healthcare is that they could deliver continuous operations because when you enable healthcare IT with cloud technology like Nutanix, you can have the IT administrators working from home. So you can ensure and guarantee continuity of operation. The second area where I see a benefit in user experience is in some examples of telemedicine that were implemented thanks to Nutanix cloud technology. And here in Saudi, we have the example of the Saudi German hospital, Tili ICU project that is actually powered by Nutanix technology. But I've seen also a lot of other good experiences, like in one European academic hospital, we helped bring to life an application that helps predict severe forms of COVID thanks to AI, reading CT scans of body chests. And we have also a very nice example of a lot of hospitals expanding their virtual desktop capability thanks to Nutanix in a hybrid cloud deployment, like in the NHS with the Arden Trust. And what they did is they expanded their Nutanix on-prem cloud Citrix deployment with AWS so that they could actually enlarge the number of VDI sessions, enabling continuity of operations of their workforce to support not only the frontline medical professionals, but also the administrative staff. And last but not least, in the genomics space, we are very happy to support another hospital in Europe, south of France, in Marseille, who is using Nutanix technology to detect the different forms of COVID variants. Speeding up the detection of variants has been very helpful in targeting how to adapt the care pathways for the population around that community hospital, and to report the variant count at the national level.
That's really interesting to know, Sebastian. Mr. Abdullah, you know, Sebastian have just, you know, mentioned how Nutanix is helping healthcare industry, the adoption of cloud technologies. But we still feel, you know, there are a lot of, you know, we have a long journey to move forward in that direction. Can you elaborate, you know, especially from the Ministry of Health perspective, how has the cloud adoption led to an improved business performance?
Yes, well, generally, when we talk about adoption of cloud, there are general framework that we should consider before we decide or analyze or study any movement in the cloud. One is the regulator framework. What regulations are there, and how flexible is it? And currently, the regulations still mandates having all government cloud services within the kingdom. The second aspect is the data. What kind of data that we will use on the cloud? Is it something that is static? Is it something dynamic? Is it something very strict? Is it how we are tolerant in terms of having that kind of information on the cloud, even if it is within KSA. So having a cloud is one thing, and complying with the regulation and complying with what CITC is mandating is one thing, and taking care of which services you would expose to that cloud services and which information that need to go to the cloud and which information that's no, it has to still on-prem. This is another aspect that's also very important. The third one, which is also very challenging, and I usually tease the vendors when we talk about cloud adoption, and I'm quite frank with them on that. Third question is, why should I go to the cloud? And one of the answers, the big answers, is the cost. If there is no cost saving, then there are other reasons why, but this is one of the big reasons. If moving to the cloud will save me enough money within the next 5 years, not the first year, because definitely in the first year, yes, we will save, because we are not capitalizing on the infrastructure and we are not making any CapEx project. But within the next 5 years, if we are going to invest in the infrastructure and making the in-house solutions, etc., the traditional way, that would be equal or sometimes less than adopting the cloud, then there is no reason. But there are other reasons, but this is one of the big reasons. Other reasons are the flexibility, having ease of access, having greater user experience, all of that. But we could also solve it without having to have a third-party cloud. We could solve it by having a private cloud or having another site that belongs to the same organization. So I think these three pillars are essential for any consideration to move to the cloud. And to be quite frank with you, it is still not feasible enough if we compare it to the international standards, or if we compare it to the international marketplace. We haven't got there yet in terms of flexibility, pricing, pay as you go, different options, different packages. So that is from a third party perspective. If we are considering a cloud from a third party, from a vendor, which is great, which is important, and I think it will happen, but it will take time until the infrastructure is cheap enough, is ready enough, and the vendors can provide really competitive packages. From let's say the on-prem or the same organization or the same government entity perspective, there are initiatives to initiate public cloud, or let's say national cloud, that the ministry or the government agency can create and can make all other entities using it. But again, this is not, we are still not making use of the real meaning of cloud, because we are building the infrastructure, building the networks, making sure it is safe, making sure it's secure, making sure of the uptime, etc. But we will benefit from having the ease of use, having the shortening the time to get the services, giving more services within a shorter time. But again, it is a journey. So this is maybe the short term, but on the long term, I believe the vendors will get more mature and we can catch up on that.
Sure. No, what you have said is rightly. It's a long journey which we still have to pursue it further. Mr. Shahid, would you like to add on? I think, we have just discussed about the data security and the access security issues during the cloud journey. So would you like to add on something to this?
Yes, Poonam, thank you. And I really endorse what Brother Abdullah said right now regarding the private and public cloud. And to add more towards the digital customer experience, what we discussed, especially in healthcare leaders, I just really want to understand from Nutanix and SPM the kind of solutions or the kind of solutions they can provide. So what I can see in hospitals in Saudi Arabia are really adopting the digital era and implementing a lot of innovative and standard solutions. Now, when you talk about, especially in Corona, the standard solutions, like, we really need to know about the ERPs, the CRM, the electronic medical records, PAC system. Every hospital is trying hard to serve their patients better, which they realize cannot be done without using technology. So what I can see in near future, digital technology may improve the patient experience by providing real-time access to medical knowledge. Just imagine an AI-powered bot, a bedside virtual care assistant for an inpatient patient that can answer or direct queries. It's awesome. This virtual assistant can answer the patient routine questions about diagnosis, about expected recovery, experiences and times and daily medication. The patient medical record, the history, the stories. Also, in order to move forward, there will be likely to be no discrete patient registration, admission processes. So once a patient physician advises admission, they can receive a personalized welcome package. So I still believe there's a lot of improvement, and to understand that how they can help us out in having a private cloud, as brother Abdullah mentioned earlier, and a public cloud, especially for those applications, because we are endorsed, or we as a compliance, we have to go for the directions by the CITC. We cannot offload ourselves, and we cannot ignore the directions. So what about the patient critical data? What about level 3 data? So these kind of things, really restrain healthcare sector to take this kind of decisions and move the whole suite of applications towards the cloud. So we need to have some kind of clarity in terms of areas about the compliance as per the CITC, so that companies and hospitals can take this strategic decision to move their applications, their critical strategic applications, over the cloud. Yep.
I think you have raised the really relevant point. I think Naveed has just raised a hand, and post that, I would leave it to Sebastian and Hassan, to give inputs regarding what Mr. Shahid has just raised. Naveed, yes, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. Our board members already explained about the digital transformation over cloud. I think we have three major areas which the cloud impacting on it. For example, if I say this is one is our patient. Actually, our customers are our patient, so we cannot treat them like a normal customer. The people who are coming to us, we should care, and we are caring them for more care and love, because they are already diseased. Second, the major impact of the cloud is on our business, on the business leader. Third, we have our own, the major impact. The third major impact is on our IT team. I would look to talk about the platform as a service, as we are running our own application development team on different countries. We have some team member in India, in Pakistan, and Philippines. So the platform as a service in the cloud is helping us to manage the team, to secure our code, to synchronize the application and development and design on all over the area. So this is the major input from the cloud side, and which is benefiting us more. The another point is the information infrastructure as a service. For any IT leader, okay, who's having infrastructure on premises. So this is, he's on the, on the emergency situation on any time, because if you are running an infrastructure on premises, so you have to take care for this, although you have taken the measures, but still you are the co-responsible for all of the things. So if we move our infrastructure on the cloud, so this thing will help a lot to IT leader. So this will make the life of the IT leader easier. The main challenging for the moving from on-premise infrastructure to cloud is actually the financial impact. As we know, the hospitals are already having their own infrastructure. They have invested alone. If I say it's the millions, I'm not wrong. So this is taking time to move from the physical infrastructure in on-premise infrastructure to the cloud. So definitely, okay. Now after the pandemic, the mindset of the business leader is changed. They come to know that it's not necessary to have the things on premises. Even the hospitals and other businesses are running their businesses, and the staff and people are working from their home. Work from home policy still it is going on. So the pandemic, the pandemic has created a mindset of the business leader, okay, that more digitalized, more secure, more digitalized, more easy to use the business.
Absolutely. Hassan, would you like to add on, what Mr. Shahid has just raised, the issues regarding the data and access security, what Mr. Abdullah Al Salem has said, about, hosting everything within Saudi Arabia. So how, as a solutions provider, can you facilitate the cloud enterprise journey when from the perspective of infrastructure, from the perspective of patient information, from data and access security?
Actually, yes, they have a point in what they have said already or that stated. I think mainly my colleague in Nutanix, Sebastian, will have a much more exact actually answer for them regarding this solution. So I think I will leave this to my colleague Sebastian to add more on what they said, or to lead them maybe later to the best solution regarding cloud, or why they have to choose cloud nowadays. So my Sebastian, please, if you can assist here. Thank you.
Sure. So I think the first thing to recognize, and I remember that there was a question about what is Nutanix and SBM delivering in KSA for healthcare. I used to say that to be successful in cloud first in healthcare, you have to build your first cloud, actually. And this starts on-prem. This is exactly how a typical SBM Nutanix journey to the cloud starts. We modernize the legacy applications, everything that is bringing to life your administrative, diagnostic, and clinical processes in the forms of all the applications and data sets you have. We modernize that so that you build your first cloud on-prem. And from there, it opens the door to build a hybrid cloud, and with all the options, but also all the challenges that were rightfully stated around regulation, around cost, with in mind the fact that if we enjoy enough benefits from what we expect from the cloud, and indeed our customers enjoy the flexibility, the cost control from building their first cloud with Nutanix, then we might yield enough benefits so that we can start the newer projects. One of the common statement I see in healthcare is that because healthcare IT is pretty new if you compare to some other verticals, all the teams of one hospitals is already running 100% of the time to keep the lights on of the existing applications, and we have a hard time finding the resources, the time, the money, the attention to build the journey to Vision 2030, for example. So everything we need to integrate the care pathways to put the patient in the center of a digital strategy. Coming back to SBM and Nutanix, once you've modernized your existing IT to build your first cloud, you already enjoy the benefits of having simplified operations and simplified financials. You can think of cloud like the stem cells of your IT infrastructure. One of the problems also in healthcare is you never know when the next application will need to be enrolled. You don't know as well how many more medical imaging devices you will have to incorporate. And it's very hard to plan in CapEx into whatever you need next. And having this pool of stem cells that you control on-prem and you can extend off-prem really helps in making the right investment. And with Nutanix and SBM, you can do that either in CapEx and OpEx.
You, Mr. Shahid, you would like to add on something?
Quickly, thank you, Sebastian, for your quick feedback on it. Definitely, all organizations, they go for on-prem deployment initially first, and then they go for either for a third party or for a cloud solution. But coming back to the basic question or the basic crux, so how Nutanix or SBM, have integrated or talked to the Ministry of Health, the CITC, to portray these kind of real challenges. What I believe, if I talk about IMC, my organization, so few of our core critical application are already on the cloud because we understand the criticality, because we understand the benefit out of it. So like our ERP, our CRM solutions, they are already on the cloud. And we are, engaging multiple vendors to move our EMR application towards cloud as well. But I still feel there are very limited options in the region, in Saudi. When you have to go and search cloud hosting, there is a big potential which needs to be capitalized in terms of discussing with Ministry of Health, with CITC, to bring some kind of enforcement, some kind of combined policy where hospitals are, still be contemplating about the cloud solution and what need to be put there, as it is needed to the patient data. Hospitals still not sure to get it managed by some third-party provider, so they are kind of scared, because of these things. That needs some clarity. On the other side, data on cloud is comprehensive, real time, and it can improve patient outcomes, which means that sharing standardized data is likely to be part of the future care delivery, as you mentioned earlier. I believe this data can include genetics, social and behavioral patient information, as well as financial, clinical, and administrative record. So that's the thing. I think it, in order to move forward, these are the factors which needs to be considered. Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Abdul Rahman, would you like to add on, as Mr. Shahid has mentioned, there are very little options available, in the cloud enterprise domain. In spite of that, as Mr. Abdullah also said, there are a lot of challenges, when we are coming or implementing an onboard enterprise cloud plan. So the challenges can be internal, within the organizations, or as the challenges mentioned by our board members, they can be external as well, which are beyond our control. So, what are the challenges which are faced by you in person, in implementing the cloud enterprise journey?
First of all, I need to thank all of them to explain the cloud, the services. But here I need to add one main point should be considered usually when using the cloud with this all transformation. The cloud service now, it's part from repetition of the organization. If you want to see the level of the IT technology, you can see they using a cloud service, even the private or public cloud. But what I need to say here, the time is very sensitive for using the cloud service. If you have the goal and you reach the goal within a short period time, the same what we have in the Eastern Health Cluster, we are responsible 21 hospital with 150 primary health care on the same time. We cannot reach our goal with the 2030 transformation without put the cloud service on the ground. The challenges, usually, if you talk about the challenges, this is one of them, the regulatory of the King's Saudi Arabia. This should be cloud in Saudi Arabia. And this is very important from the national servity. Yani this is not from the technology perspective at all. Because of that, we are encouraged the respected international vendor to start to build their hosting in Saudi Arabia. And already we started with the 3 companies this add the ISP that we have in Saudi Arabia. Because of that, now we are in a good position to using the cloud services with the same regulatory. And one thing is important. Should be parallel all the time. The cybersecurity controls. If you are using the cloud without consider the cybersecurity, since we're starting the plan for the cloud, I think we face many issues that we cannot stop at all. That the one thing in the digital health should be mentioned, the healthcare exchange information. We cannot to enhance the healthcare without health exchange, and we cannot health exchange without cloud service. Because of that, the patients service now need to access the data. The doctor as well, we need to access the data from everywhere. Nothing stop the cloud. Nothing stop the cloud at all. Just we need to investment more cyber security and the connection and replication of the service. When we start this new globalization with mobile application, no one can using the service now without the cloud. Even if any country or any organization need to continue using on a promise, I think we will take time to be equal the other country development. I need here also to mention about experiment in Saudi Arabia. This is amazing experiment. We have a national cybersecurity. They support the cloud service by release the cloud service cybersecurity controls, and this is help us to move forward with the cybersecurity and also without compromise the cloud service. Now we are started in Eastern Health Cluster build the cloud service with the regulator, under the regulator of the Saudi Arabia. And this is happened in a short time. Now we are using our email and our services with the cloud service, and we are looking for to start the health information system and the cloud service with health exchange. That's what we are looking for.
That's really interesting. Mr. Abdulaziz, I see you have raised a hand, so would like to get your inputs on this.
Yeah, I really want to echo some of the colleague here and saying that offering from the cloud provider in the local region is scarce. It's not up to the task, and I could see that this is the dilemma of the chicken and the egg, or what will come first. I think once organization adopt the thinking of moving to cloud, provider will take this opportunity to move to providing more innovative way to deploy on private cloud or hybrid cloud or even public cloud. Right now, because of the relentless of people moving to the cloud, we don't see that much of offering. We don't see that much of need, because the market will always bring to cover the need of the organization or the customer. And that's something that we hope that we will see in the coming future. And the other side is where do we fit as care providers in hospital, clinics, or centers? Where do we fit in this whole ecosystem of public health and the vision in the kingdom? So we need to understand where we should be operating, and the health exchange is something that need to be covered by the government, and they will I could see that a lot of movement to move toward exposing that level of health exchange. It's just from other healthcare provider facility, we need to be ready to exchange those information for that type of information and the volume and everything that is related to the patient that we are serving in our facility. I could see a lot of benefit in aligning all of the whole healthcare provider into the vision of the kingdom itself and how they will roll it out. That will help the deployment of public health layer or health exchange layer that will be the reservoir for hosting all of those information to be exposed and utilized by to best delivery of service or healthcare services for our patient. Those are the 2 points. Thank you.
I think you have raised some really extremely valid points. Hassan, would you like to take on some of the points which Mr. Abdulaziz has just raised regarding the limited options available and where do we fit in the public healthcare sector?
Thank you. Actually, I wanted to add something as it continues to what Sebastian from Nutanix had stated before what Mr. Abdulaziz has said. I will say something from the eye of the IT leaders in the healthcare sector. This transformation actually provide leaders and experts with insight with the latest artificial intelligence and digital transformation, news, trends, and strategies in healthcare today. This transformation empowers them actually with innovative ways to collect, pool, and analyze high-quality, actionable insights. Through digital or this transformation, these insights will create high efficiencies that improve patient care while reducing or streamlining healthcare costs. So I think any transformation or any later on through cloud or whatever, I think cost will be raised highly, especially within any healthcare environment through the IT leaders. So I just wanted to raise this small information about this transformation. I think it will be helpful for the guys. Thank you.
I think, yeah, thank you. Shahid, yes, please.
Yeah, thank you. I totally endorse and agree what Brother Abdulaziz mentioned and earlier Mr. Abdul Rahman. I believe healthcare exchange is very important and it is part of the Saudi 2030 mission as well, vision as well. Most of the hospitals for the EMR implementation, they look for these kind of things for the cloud adoption or moving towards that thing, and because it will gonna give an access advantage to the hospitals to reach to HIMSS stage 7 and onwards, So this is one of the most important thing. And as Brother Abdul Rahman mentioned earlier about the security concerns, I believe, these days solutions are available where data can be securely stored in the cloud and access on a need basis. Maybe we can explore on a blockchain mechanism. So yeah, that's what I just quickly want to add from security perspective.
Yes, Sebastian, quickly we will move on to Jihad then. Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to come back to the limited cloud offerings topic, and just to quote a few numbers, Nutanix is running every year a survey targeted to several thousands of CIOs across the globe and across industries. And what we typically found this year is that even if more than 2/3 of the CIOs who responded really see the hybrid cloud as the way forward for them, for the first time, we've been running this survey for the past 3-4 years. For the first time, we have a prevalence within healthcare CIOs who state that hybrid cloud is the way forward. And I think it's up to 85% of the respondents, so a vast majority. And the reason why is because even if healthcare IT has been pretty late compared to financial services IT or telco IT, for example, from a history perspective, we now want to catch up and rip off the benefits of the cloud today. And the only way to do that when we have limited cloud offerings, and that's true in KSA, but that's true in every country where I operate, so in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Because of regulations, because of the limitation of the validated offerings, and because of cost sometimes also, The best way is really to start enjoying the benefit of the cloud by bringing to life your first cloud on-prem, and then enjoy the freedom to expand this whenever the options become available. Then you're free to move some workloads and data sets onto available cloud options when the time comes. But the idea is to not wait and to start
the journey immediately.
Journey right away.
Yes. My next question is to Mr. Jihad. Jihad, we have seen from today's discussion, what we are seeing is the CIOs and the IT heads, they need to collaborate to innovate and get ahead in the digital transformation journey. How do you, as Sebastian has just mentioned, healthcare industry has been a bit slow in the adoption of cloud journey, vis-a-vis if we compare it with the finance industry or with any other industry. So how do you see the role of healthcare leaders changing within the healthcare sector in the next coming 5 years?
I believe the IT leaders, they should engage into active discussions with the current providers, cloud providers in Saudi Arabia. I echo some of what my peers have said. The fact that the cloud in Saudi Arabia is still premature. The current providers, they are not anywhere near competing with leaders in this domain like AWS or Azure. Now, when it comes to the health sector, obviously we are governed by the Ministry of Health and by the governmental directives, which limits the fact that we can host our data outside the boundaries of Saudi Arabia. So we are limited to the current providers in Saudi Arabia. For example, in my case, we are dealing with Mobily, and they are still behind with some of some regulatory and compliance requirements. So I believe in the way forward is for the IT leaders to start engaging more with the cloud providers in Saudi Arabia, set the expectations so they can so those cloud providers, they can sit and decide their investment plans in order to meet the demands of the sector. Obviously, AWS now they have their data center in Bahrain, which is on our border, but still we cannot benefit from their services. And unless we make it clear to the cloud providers in Saudi Arabia that what the businesses really need, this gap will continue and the need will continue to rise. And I don't think the cloud providers eventually will be able to keep up with the demands of the sector. Obviously, the cloud has made it a lot easier for the businesses or for the health sector providers like hospitals and polyclinics to go about with their day-to-day operation. They help them to save the cost, help them to start new initiatives a lot quicker, but still a lot more to be done on the side of the cloud providers. The health sector providers, they are willing to invest. They are ready to take on those services. But unless the cloud service providers, they are ready to provide those services, the gap will remain there for an extended period of time. This is how I look at it. Back to you.
I think there is a lot of opportunity, as you have said, for a lot of cloud services provider. Ahmed, over to you. You wanted to say something, or if you can elaborate, what are the challenges? How do we see the role of healthcare changing in the next 5 years?
Yeah, actually, I just want to add to my colleagues here regarding the cloud providers. Actually, if we are talking about the cloud providers, we can go anywhere outside the kingdom. But in my opinion, the main challenges is because of the regulation. Because actually, we face this as an international group among our hospitals. We could not share our data here from the kingdom to our hospitals in UAE or India. So I do believe it's the regulation challenges more than the hardware or technical challenges. Because also, in my opinion, the banking sector which is also sensitive. They are hosting many services on the cloud. And also I'll add to my colleague from the IMC that the data can be secure nowadays, and there is many solutions to secure the data. Also regarding the cost, I believe the cost, yeah, it is still high, but we are comparing the cost against our like people life. So we are in healthcare, we are providing care to the people, which I think it's more precious than money. So yeah, cost is high, but the human life is more important. This is for my opinion.
Ayman, would you like to add on, how we have, listened to a lot of very interesting inputs from our, digital boardroom participants. So would you like to add on, how do you see the role of, the leaders changing, especially from the healthcare industry in the coming 5 years?
Exactly what we are need to focus on the coming 5 years is how to move smoothly from the current technology to the cloud technology, and how to overcome over the stated challenges like medical machines integration, like cybersecurity and analytics, and integrating with analytics and machine learning using the new techniques of AI and machine learning. Also, I agree with Muhammad about the HIMSS accreditation. It's one of our challenges, and it needs a lot of customization and the changes. And when we are talking about moving to cloud and accredited by this certification, it means that all information must be input in a discrete format, which is not easy on practice, because for example, for the medical machines, for ophthalmology images, it's a huge, and for the PACS system, it's a huge, and it needs very fast connectivity and compression rate. It should be highly compression rate. From the technical perspective, we are facing a lot of challenges, and we need really to explore what is the new of the technology to overcome this all of these challenges. Thank you.
Mr. Al-Tareki, what are the challenges you are facing at this security services hospital? When we are talking about, especially in bringing together your IT heads together on a single platform.
So the main thing what we are facing right now is that we're not allowed to connect to normal services like cloud services, especially only from cloud provided company like NIC and so on. So the challenge is that we have to request new services that it's not available on their side. But in the coming couple of months, I think all of this information will be provided, like containers and so on, for my cloud computing. Sorry. For now, we're starting something new, that we're moving half our infrastructure to the cloud in Adim, so we can use it for our what they call it, dispensary around the kingdom. And this is our first initiative to have our HIS on top of one of the cloud services in Saudi Arabia. Else than that, we are almost the same with everyone in this boarding meeting.
Interesting. Have you faced any internal challenges? We have also seen in certain scenarios where there are a lot of internal challenges, about the data security and moving the, information to the cloud. So have you faced external? We understand there are certain regulations, which I think we will raise our point to Mr. Abdullah Al Saleh to take these inputs from the industry leaders to the Ministry of Health.
Exactly. He's the best one to answer.
So he can be our spokesperson for the Ministry of Health, taking all these.
Exactly. Yeah,
but I wanted to ask, have you ever faced any internal, challenges when you are, moving this journey to the cloud, especially the board managers and especially the senior management?
First of all, we get a lot of resist that the data couldn't be out of the premise, but because of the government vision that they want to start clouding, they have to adapt. So in this year, we're having more smooth movement than the past 3 years, let's say, giving us more information, more cloud services provided by the government, make it easy for us to move. So the challenges in this year, it came easier for us. The only thing we have to do is rebuild the system on the cloud and start connecting it. And this needs a big team to move those things around. But hopefully within this year, we'll be halfway cloud from our hospital, from our infrastructure, I mean.
That's really interesting to know. Sebastian, you have raised a hand. Yes, please.
Yeah, I wanted to come back to the question of cost, which is of course very important regarding discussions around cloud. And I think it's fair to take the image of hospitality. Whenever you need to be in some place for a few days, you go into a hotel room. When you need to go somewhere for several months, maybe you go to, you rent an apartment or something like this. But if you need to have, to settle somewhere for maybe 20 years, then you really consider buying a house. And I tend to think that regarding cloud options, whether thinking about on-prem, pure hybrid deployment, or completely off-prem options, should follow pretty much the same rules regarding the cost question. And just to echo Mr. Anwar about the packs, it's pretty much true to say that there is no absolutely pure cloud deployment of any packs anywhere on this planet, especially on the scale of cluster-wise or national-wise. It doesn't exist in any country. So it's not even a problem of regulation, but a problem of data gravity and cost of keeping the same data over an extended period of time, which doesn't make sense in a kind of hotel room paradigm. So it's both a technical issue over the network, and typically in packs, you expect the first image in less than 3 seconds. And unless you can deliver a seamless, constant service level like this, it doesn't really make sense to move packs entirely onto cloud, also for this technical reason. So it's both actually. It's cost and data gravity that should help decide how to mitigate your on-prem, hybrid, or off-prem cloud deployments.
Thank you. I think you have rightly said. Mr. Abdul Rahman, you have raised your hand, please.
Hey, yes, but just here I need to take advantage because Nutanix with us to say the cloud service with virtualization is very important. The cloud service is still, we have many limitations of this. And when we started to deal with the Nutanix, we hear about the converged infrastructure at that time. And because of that, just I need to take this advantage. One thing related the regulator of the countries like UAE or KSA about the cloud service. I'm not here to defense the regulator of the KSA or UAE. Just I need to mention sometimes we have wide vision. This when we started any project should be take care about the risk of the cloud services. Because of that, we have this regulation. But I think in this phase we see these challenges. But in the next phase, we see that the new opportunity to give us a new hosting vendor inside the country. Thank you.
So I think we see a lot of opportunities for Nutanix and SBM in Saudi Arabia. Yes, Mr. Abdul Aziz, over to you.
Well, thank you for giving me a chance again. I just wanted to retouch on the analogy given by Sebastian that if you want to visit for one day, you book a room, and if you want to stay for a long period, you buy that place. But given in the perspective that those server will be nearly out of date in 4 or 5 years, again, the look at the cloud would be more promising as a whole. But again, to retouch on the challenge that we have with cloud moving from our premise to the cloud, I think it's a communication challenge between us, the actual customer, and the solution provider. It seemed that the communication between those two need to be streamlined, it need to be clearer, it need to be with a simple way of onboarding, so we'll get the full benefit of going through a cloud. Now, to go to cloud right now, you have to have really a good expertise of how to do it and what you need and so forth, and the requirement that you are coming with. But in the near future, we like to see that going to cloud is almost like contracting for a service like utility. It's not that complicated. It's have a clear objective. It's clear benefits. It have a clear dashboard to measure our utilization, and to also give us some feedback on the capacity that we are going. That will be a clear decision to scale up or scale out, scale, moving from what you have as a capacity and then advancing to the reacting to the need of the business. So all of those features need to be in the future cloud provider mind, so they could put it for the customer, the coming customer. This is what we have in challenge. This is what we like to see in the the offering that will be coming from the solution provider, cloud provider, and we hope, of course, for the best in the coming future for having more of those services provided locally in the region. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abdulaziz. Quickly take Naveed, just a quick one, please, and then over to Mr. Shahid. Yes.
Yeah, I would like to say just there's two things what we are facing as the IT leader. As we are the person who's blinking the light of the technology in front of our business leaders. The main thing is the trust. Okay, the trust. For example, I will just give you one example. For the EMR and EHR, we are saving the information of patient medical history. If you look the patient chief medical chief complaint or chief medical record and the patient history, imagine if this information is leaked or it is insecure. So how would it be a disastrous for any organization? Same like the patient biography as well as. Second, we have been facing the issue for the cybersecurity side. Just recently, if we look some of the very well-known communication provider and for the chat application, their data, we have been seeing the news that their data is also, at some instant this breach. So I think one by one, okay, once there is a new era, okay, so step by step, the companies adopt this new era. I would endorse Mr. Sibstan that the hybrid cloud is the solution which we can move immediately. And afterward, when the things are matured, okay, and the trust is built up, so we can move on full public cloud.
Absolutely true. I think these challenges we will have to live within, during our digital transformation journey. And we are living them rather in our very day-to-day life. Yes, Mr. Shahid, would you like to add on something?
Yeah, quickly. Thank you. Thank you for the
opportunity
again. Yeah. Just adding to Brother Abdulaziz, what he mentioned earlier regarding the challenge. Yes, definitely, absolutely. Cloud is the future, and we eventually have to move towards that. The crux of the overall discussion, the patient critical data, that is important, as classified by the CITC and the Ministry of Health. That is most important for the healthcare sector. Besides other factor, what we have discussed, I just want to add, a couple of things. We need to know about the, basic factors of, challenges in terms of scalability, ease of using the applications, Reducing the cost and time is one of the biggest factor. It's a kind of a big challenge for the cloud solution, and optimizing processes and operations. That is another area. So just quickly, I want to add these factors as well. Yeah, thank you.
Over to you, Sebastian. I would request if you can just, wind off today's discussion. As Mr. Shahid has raised, what is the scalability of the implementation of cloud enterprise and ease of using these applications. If you can just sum up today's discussion.
Right. So first of all, an enterprise cloud has to be compliant with your existing applications, and to make the development of newer applications easier as well, and integrating with the legacy applications. So we're doubling down in efforts to get your applications validated, and we're happy to say that, for example, General Electric's PACS and enterprise imaging systems, or Fujifilm, are validated onto Nutanix, just like Epic electronic medical record is also validated, and many, many more applications that are running today in the kingdom. So that's the basis. The second area is we're talking about a 24/7 operation. So unless you have a seamless level of support, you don't play in healthcare at all. And we are happy to report that for the 6th year in a row, we've been granted by our customers a 90+ net promoter score, which is unparalleled in the cloud industry. Now, those features would not be of interest if you didn't have simplicity and scalability. So where do we get simplicity from cloud? Cloud, in a sense, is an operational model that eradicates the need for silos by bringing a single tool to provision anything you need to build, run, and lifecycle your applications. So with Nutanix, and I encourage you to come to us to test that, you have a single tool, you have a single interface to manage everything you need to run, build, run, and manage applications. The second aspect is scalability. We start really small. You can start a Nutanix deployment typically with a very limited budget, but it scales pretty much to infinity. Our largest customers are not in healthcare, but our largest customers, they have thousands of nodes running, tens of thousands of virtual machines, and countless terabytes at the same time. So this is the seamless capability to scale out without any downtime that makes this flavor of cloud, which is enterprise cloud, very desirable, because your legacy applications can be onboarded with no effort, and then you can expand that into, whenever this is actually reasonable and possible, into off-prem cloud options with the help of AWS and Microsoft Azure and GCP, when they get actually compliant and cost-effective for you.
Thank you very much, Sebastian. Today's discussion has been really interesting, and it has been quite insightful even for me, though I don't come from a healthcare industry. But, I have learned a lot from today's discussion. And Mr. Abdullah, as you've seen, our participants have a lot to take up to the, Saudi Health Authority. So, we leave that, inputs to be shared within your organization. We at Khalij Times, would like to thank each one of you, for being part of this discussion. It's an initiative by us to bring together the like-minded, industry peers together and discuss the opportunities as well as the challenges which are faced by each one of you in your day-to-day operations. We would like to thank Nutanix and Saudi Business Machines for facilitating this discussion, and we look forward to have work with them and with each one of you in many more initiatives implemented by Khalij Times. I hope you have been inspired and gotten ideas on technology, on how to bring digital innovation to your business strategy. Thank you all once again for joining us today. I know you all have very, very busy schedule, but sincere thanks to each one of you.